If you're looking to run Putco's Hornet 16-inch light bar, well then the Putco roof mounting bracket that we're talking about here today would be a very easy and clean way to get it on the roof of your 2015 and newer F-150 at home. Now the Made in the USA bracket will feature a 6061 billet aluminum construction, along with a textured black powder coat, all for right around that low to mid $100 price point. So again guys, this bracket is designed solely to mount the 16-inch Putco Hornet light bar. A great multi-use 360-degree strobing light bar for work trucks or emergency vehicles that is super easy to install. That is, if you have the correct bracket. And that's exactly what we're talking about here today. Now, with that being said, guys, if you're trying to mount a generic light bar to this thing, we cannot guarantee fitment. Again, this is solely for use with that 16-inch Putco Hornet bar. Now, the roof mounting bracket from Putco is designed to mount to the third brake light location, putting that Hornet light bar in a prime spot on the roof while still maintaining full functionality out of your factory or aftermarket third brake light. Now, the bracket again has been made right here in the USA from high quality billet aluminum before being finished off in a textured black powder coat. That's just in place to help keep things looking good for years to come. Now, the bracket does include some hardware for the install along with some rubber feet to protect the paint on the roof of your F-150. But now we want to segue into the install, and site's going to call this one a very soft 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, maybe 15 minutes or so to get the bracket in place from start to finish. But now, to give you a better idea of how things will go down, check out this detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown from an AT customer now.
To do this job, we're going to need a 9/64 Allen, a 1/8 Allen, 3/8 inch box wrench, a Torx T20, and I like to use a impact with a Torx bit in it just to make things go a little faster. And to do this install, I recommend using some Loctite. That ought to take care of everything we need to do, or all the tools we need to do the job. Hi, I'm Sean. Today I'm going to demonstrate how to install the Putco 16-inch Hornet rooftop mounting bracket for a Ford F-150. Doesn't look like it's going to be anything too hard to do. First thing we need to do is open up our bag of parts and get out our rubber bumpers. I like to lay everything out on a white towel just so I can see all my parts and see where they are and know what I'm doing, or know what I've got to work with. First thing you want to do is take your small nut, put it inside your rubber feet, rubber bumpers. And what I want to do here is put some Loctite on the 832 bolts. And the reason I do that is because these are not lock nuts, and my concern is that maybe they'll come loose while going down the road and vibrating. All right, so your rubber bumpers go in the 4 outer holes, 2 holes in the outer corners of the bracket. And you'll just want to squeeze your rubber bumper and get your 9/32 or your 9/32 wrench and squeeze your bumper. Give it a little bit, just snug it just a little bit. That way your rubber foot's held in place. Make sure your nuts are in your rubber feet. Put the other rubber bumper in, squeeze it, get it started. Oops. There we go. And just snug it down a little bit there. You got your Loctite in there to keep them from coming undone. And that is the end of the first step. Next thing we need to do is install our light bar. Next step is get your light bar mounted. And you get your holes started. Start your nuts on there. tighten anything up till you get everything inserted. That way you can get your holes lined up easier. Well, make sure your cord's coming out the back side of your bracket. That's the side where it angles down behind the cab. Don't need any Loctite on these. They got lock nuts, which is really nice. Don't have to worry about those coming loose. Okay, so I'll take my 1/8 inch Allen wrench. Get it on here, held in place, and then I'll tighten up my nuts here and get them nice and snug. And just repeat that step on all four. You'll have to flop the mounting bracket around there to get you lined up so you can get your stuff all snugged up, tightened up. Here's not going to be as easy. It might help if I had used a 3/8 inch nut driver, but this works. This takes a little bit longer. Get snug. Like I said, these are lock nuts, so you don't have to worry about them coming undone. Again, same thing here. This takes a little bit longer. If I had used a nut driver, it might have went a little faster. Well, I know it would have went a little faster. Nice and snug. Well, that's got my light bar mounted to the bracket. Got my cord hanging out the back side. And I'm going to move on to the next step of installing the gasket material. Our next step here is to install our gasket material. And before I install gasket material, I always like to use a little bit of alcohol. This is a 99% solution of alcohol. I clean all my mating surfaces off with the rubbing alcohol to get rid of oils and stuff like that. Helps your adhesives stick a little bit better. I got that cleaned off. Set that out of the way. And as you can see here on the instructions, there it is. Gasket installation. Runs across the top, down the sides, out around the outer holes, and runs straight back across the top. Now, the one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make my gasket meet at the bottom. And the reason I want to do this is because if water comes in, I don't want there to be a gap or anything here at the top for water to run down and get between the cab and the bracket and get inside. So that'll take care of that. Also, the one thing they want you to do is when you, with your gasket material, they want you to cut a slit in it. So if I started at the bottom, I can just use that as my opening, and that little slit opening is to allow for your wire that goes from your light to the inside to your controls. Open the packet here, get started. I'm just going to find the middle, fold it in half, got approximation on the middle. just like to start in the middle because it kind of gives me a best way to get from one side to the other. And I can put it right here in the middle of the bracket, and that'll make my gap should meet right down to the bottom. So peel your strip off. I don't want to stretch it too much because I want my gasket material to be nice and taut, but I don't want it to be loose. So I get over here and make me a slight bend. Get down here to the bottom, come around the corner. If you just place it lightly, you can peel it back up. But as sticky as this adhesive is, I wouldn't think you're going to have much of a chance to peel it back up after it's good and stuck. There we go. That's the first side. I'll press that down. Go to the other side here. Bring it straight across. Touch it down. A nice bend. Bring it down to the bottom corner. Follow the corner around. Nice and neat. Looks like I'm going to have just a teeny bit extra. They don't tell you in your instructions, but might be handy to have a knife to cut this with once you get to where you want to meet. And what I like to do is overlap it a little bit, cut down through both pieces. Peel that off the bottom of there. So I got a nice tight fit right there at the bottom. That does it for the installation of your gasket material. All right, next thing you want to do after you've got your bracket all put together is get your third brake light off. Like I said, I like to use a impact because it makes it faster. Those are pretty long screws that come with it. So one thing you will be able to do is reuse the factory screws, and then you just wiggle a little bit and your light comes right out. And then you want to turn all your light bulbs. Looks like they go counterclockwise, and a little quarter of a twist and they come right out. So now your third brake light's removed. All right, next thing you want to do is get your mounting bracket put on your truck. We'll take your light cord, bring it through the right hole, then just set your rubber feet right on the top of the roof there, and then line up your screw holes with on your bracket to your screws mounting holes for your on the back of the cab. And you're gonna put all your lights back in. And just get them, up them in there and give them a quarter turn. There's a little place there for your wires to snap down into, so that way it keeps them from wiggling all over. Keeps them down nice and snug and tight inside your light thing. Now the one thing that I'm doing different is I'm not going to keep this on here permanent. It's just a temporary thing. I will probably take it back off here in about a month after we get done using the truck for what we're using it for. But what they want you to do is cut a slot in the bottom of your foam gasket. You run your cord down around the side and then run it up through the gasket and then put it inside the cab of the truck. There's a hole right there. You can run it right down to the roof liner. So all you have to do is pull the roof liner down a little bit and you can run your cord right around your inside your truck. But I'm not going to keep this on here permanent. It's just a temporary thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and mount my light back up here. It's got your holes, everything lines up. Get your screws started. And because I don't like to sit there and twist forever, I'll get my screws started with my impact most of the way in. And once they're in where I need them, I use my T20 Torx screwdriver. Tighten it up. Snug him down where I want them to stay nice and tight. So your light's all mounted up there nice and tight. Your rubber gasket's there. Your gasket on the back of your third brake light's there. And then I'm going to run my cord over my roof and inside of my back door so I can plug my light in.
So if you are looking for an easy and clean mounting solution for your 16-inch Putco Hornet light bar, be sure to grab the matching bracket from Putco right here at AmericanTrucks.com.